Good afternoon. It has been a tradition now for the past 6 years for Henry County's chairman to update citizens on the state of the county. I'd like to first take the time to thank each of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to watch as we look back on what was accomplished in 2009 and look ahead at where we're going. Communities do not become great by accident. It takes a concerted and constant effort on the part of individuals, businesses, civic and faith-based organizations to create an outstanding community like Henry County. 2009 has been a challenging year to say the least, one that involved many changes and tested our resilience. But ultimately, 2009 was a year that rewarded us by opening us to new ideas, forcing us to think outside the box, and bringing about new initiatives that will help to lay a strong foundation for our future. A few of those changes occurred recently when we welcomed Butch Sanders, our new county manager, and Ronald Burkhalter, the new capital projects director for SPLOST. They have both been on the job just over a month, but both have jumped in, rolled up their sleeves, and set out about the hard work of leading this county. And there is much to do. As I mentioned, this past year has been difficult, and it looks like we'll have an even tougher year ahead before things start to turn around. Unemployment in Henry County is 10.3%, a little higher than the state of Georgia's 10.2% and significantly higher than the 6% it was this time last year. Not surprisingly, revenues are down. Property taxes, which comprise 51% of this year's general fund budget, were flat this year, and we expect a decline in 2010 due to the new law that allows foreclosures to be used to determine a home's value. In addition, the sharp decrease in construction means impact fees are down 78% from 2008, while building permits and inspections are down 62% and 54% respectively. LOST, Local Option Sales Tax, and SPLOST, Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax revenues are also off projection by as much as 12% because people are holding off on purchasing big-ticket items and spending less in general. The lost taxes go to our general fund, which runs the wheels of county government, affecting our bottom line. SPLOST revenues, on the other hand, fund all the other projects approved by voters in the referendum in 2008. The decrease in these revenues means that we have had to put some projects on hold until the economy recovers and funding becomes available. The good news is that Henry County has been able to weather this storm far better than many other counties. As stated in Henry County's 5-time award-winning popular annual financial report, the key values of our financial management include fiscal integrity, prudence, planning, accountability, honesty, and openness. It is precisely this commitment to planning and fiscal responsibility that has put Henry County in an enviable position as compared to other communities right now. The tremendous foresight of Henry County's leadership has ensured that where others are risking bankruptcy, we have very little debt. In fact, we carry just 12% of what we would legally be allowed to borrow based on our net assets. In addition, we maintain a healthy fund balance of more than $42 million, which has enabled us to absorb the sharp decline in revenue that has forced many other communities to furlough employees or close amenities. Combined, these elements enable us to maintain a AA2 bond rating that assures us of low interest rates when it makes financial sense to bond projects, saving taxpayers money. That bond rating is so important to us that we worked hard to find innovative ways to cut costs in order to balance our budget with minimal impact of our fund balance and without sacrificing service to our citizens. In fact, not one member of public safety was laid off. Hours have not been reduced in any of our offices. No programs or services have been cut, with the exception of a few parks and recreation events. Instead, we ask individual departments to cut their budget. On top of that, we negotiated lower fixed costs on commodities such as fuel and asphalt to save money. We have begun self-insuring worker comp claims up to $250,000, which has reduced our premiums. In addition, our employee wellness programs not only reduced our employees' blood pressure, they have helped to reduce our health insurance claims, which has enabled Henry County to keep its health insurance premium cost level in spite of rising health care costs. Where we couldn't save money, we looked for ways to raise revenues fairly instead. For example, the sheriff's office with the new jail expansion coming online could not cut his budget, so his office has begun charging for background checks and raised its inmate phone use charges in order to offset increases in operational costs. Henry County also raised its ambulance billing rates for the first time since 1996, bringing them more in line with surrounding counties and making us eligible for grant funding. In each case, Henry County was able to raise revenue through user fees that affect only those who need the services, helping us to avoid a tax increase that affects everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, since coming on board as a commissioner 5 years ago, I have been continually impressed with Henry County's employees, how much they care about their community and how hard they work. But over this past year, I have been particularly proud of them. They have risen to the challenges this economy has wrought, and because of their dedication, we have been able to accomplish a great deal in spite of budget cuts and without having to raise taxes. As I mentioned earlier, we completed the 81,000 square foot plus jail expansion in April, which provides an additional 519 beds, more than doubling the facility's previous capacity of 419. But by implementing smart design and the latest technology, we did not have to double the number of jailers to safely manage the new space. In fact, both the facility, which includes more than 34,000 square feet of much-needed office space, and the site itself were designed to maximize future expansion capabilities and minimize the cost while giving the county greater flexibility in achieving total build-out. We also remodeled the old police headquarters and repurposed that building into the beautiful new election and registration office, nearly tripling the square footage of elections' former facility. The renovation was accomplished for less than $32 a square foot due to the use of Spalding County Correction Institute trustees to do much of the labor. With more space for voting machines and ample parking, the new facility would undoubtedly make it easier for citizens to make their voices heard on Election Day. We completed numerous road and intersection improvement projects throughout the county, enhancing both traffic flow and the safety of our roadways. These include the intersections of Highway 155 at Heron Bay, Highway 155 at Walker, Highway 42 at Peaksville, Fairview at Thurman Road, and Austin at Hearn Road. The paving projects for Peaksville and Collins Road were also completed. While construction prices are low, we have also pushed to get as many new projects underway as possible. Major road projects now under construction include the expansions of Eagles Landing Parkway and Hudson Bridge Road, East Lake Parkway and McDonough Parkway. Intersection improvements in the works are Highway 20 at Airline, Highway 81 at Bethany Road, and Flat Rock Road at Old Conyers. Recently, Commissioner Stamey asked Commissioner Holder if he ever remembered the county having that many projects under construction at one time. Commissioner Holder replied he never remembered the county having $46 million for transportation funding. Capital projects are also making headway. There is a parking deck going up in downtown McDonough, a new library under construction in Hampton, a recreation center underway in Fairview, and the recent purchase of the Locust Grove Conference Center means the south end of the county will soon have its long-awaited senior center that will double as a community center. We launched a curbside recycling program amid great enthusiasm from citizens and already have plans in the works to strengthen the program in the future. And I'm particularly proud of the Henry First initiative, which I announced just under a year ago. This new policy gives Henry County businesses precedence over other businesses during the bidding process by allowing them to match the lowest bid if their original bid came within 5% of the lowest bid. This supports our local businesses and helps the money to stay in our local economy. On top of finding cost savings wherever we could, we set out to capitalize on as many outside sources of funding as possible. Through the hard work and diligence of many of our staff, we were able to secure more than $3.4 million in grants and federal appropriations and more than $40 million in Federal American Recovery and Reinvestment Act stimulus dollars for a variety of projects countywide. The most significant of these projects was the Eagles Landing Parkway expansion, the construction for which will now be fully funded by stimulus dollars. Regardless of how you feel about the stimulus funding, the money has served to stretch our limited dollars, enabling SPLOST to accomplish projects that would have otherwise been put on hold. We have also been able to enhance law enforcement programs, replace aging buses, and expand services to more citizens through our senior centers and life management solution programs without increasing our budget. And our recently established Henry First 501c3 will make us eligible to apply for even more grants to offset costs to our general fund budget. Henry County was also one of just 23 government entities to be awarded funding through the Neighborhood Stabilization Program, which provided more than $6 million to refurbish foreclosed homes, put them back on the market, and most importantly, back into our tax digest. And the program's working. Since the program's inception in April, the program has purchased 61 homes, completed rehab on 10, and sold 6, with 4 more under contract as of the end of 2009. We were awarded $226,380 in federal earmarks for signage and hardscaping at exit 218 to brand that interchange as the gateway to the Speedway. This is all thanks to Congressman Lynn Westmoreland. Once constructed, the interchange enhancements will help Henry County to maximize the benefit it receives from having the Atlanta Motor Speedway in our own backyard by directing tourists down the Highway 20 corridor. Thanks to Congressman David Scott, Henry County received $175,000 to help expand our Emergency Operations Center. The planned 22,000 square foot expansion will enable the Emergency Management Agency, together with GEMA and the Red Cross, to better address the changing needs of this community and respond more quickly in crisis situations. Just last month, we purchased 5 acres of foreclosed land that is adjacent to the current Emergency Operations Center for this expansion. This is a SPLOST 3 project. The site also houses new offices for Henry County Transit that is being funded through the Federal Transportation Administration's Urban Transportation Assistance Fund to make the department more accessible to the public. Let's take a moment to add those numbers up. That's nearly $50 million in grants, earmarks, or stimulus dollars from outside sources that is helping us to offset expenses, expand programs, and improve services to Henry County citizens. That's like adding another 40% to our bottom line. And based on our population growth over the last 10 years, which has increased more than 60%, we will soon be eligible for a lot more federal funding for programs like senior services, transit, roads and highways, and even our schools. We just have to ensure a complete and accurate count in the 2010 census. And as chairman of the Government Subcommittee for Georgia's Complete Count Committee, I'm counting on you to do your part and answer those 10 simple questions. That's right, the form is shorter this year with just 10 simple questions. A complete count for a community that has grown like ours will automatically mean increased funding, and that's, as they say, is easy money. Last year at this time, I pledged to begin implementing a vision for our future that will put us in a position to recover faster from this recession. I promised you that Henry County would work toward attracting new businesses to our community and improving our environment. And I assured you that the Board of Commissioners would work to make Henry County a safe, vibrant community for all of us. Thanks to the collective hard work of dozens of dedicated community leaders, talented business professionals, and local elected officials, we are off to a good start. The late Milton Berle said, "If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door." In the midst of this economic cloud hanging over us, this is exactly what we've done. You see, as fast as Henry County was growing, county government just couldn't keep up. But when the recession put our growth on pause, Henry County did not curl up and pull the covers over our head. We went into overdrive, effectively using the downtime to plan for our future so that we will be ready when the economy rebounds. We have accomplished what many communities cannot: joint comprehensive plans with the 4 cities that have done much to ensure that we will grow in a way that will attract higher paying jobs, improve our local economy, and enhance our quality of life. And we are already reaping the dividends. The Joint City-County Comprehensive Transportation Plan, adopted in 2007, is helping to secure state and federal funding for roads at a level unheard of prior to the plan being adopted. We adopted the Joint County Cities Comprehensive Land Use Plan in April, followed by the Unified Land Development Code in September, and the county's first ever economic development strategy was introduced in August. This plan, like no other plan before it, is a doorway to our future. You see, Henry County's average wage earner brings home about $5,000 less than the average Georgian and $10,000 less than the national average, because the majority of Henry County jobs are currently in the 5 lowest paying sectors. And the ramifications of this go far beyond salaries. This also means that the majority of Henry County's workforce has to drive great distances to get to their jobs, with 56% of us driving 30 minutes or more to go to work. This clogs our roadways, diminishes our time with our families, and drastically affects our quality of life. We must find a balance. If there is anything this recession should have taught us, it is the importance of striking the right balance. Rely too much on one particular industry, and like a house of cards, the whole thing collapses. Financial advisors will tell you to not put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify your portfolio. We must do the same. We need a balance of jobs to workers, big industry to small upstarts, commercial to residential, office and administrative positions to manufacturing and service jobs. Achieve that balance, and the healthy, vibrant economy we all want is within our reach. That's why I'm so excited about the economic development strategy. More than 100 community leaders representing business, industry, government, and education came together over the course of 18 months to first assess the current state of our community and then collectively develop a plan to ensure the economic vitality of our county. The plan consists of 5 goal areas: infrastructure and quality development, economic structure, education and workforce, civic capacity and collaboration, and quality of life. And this isn't just some document to collect dust on a shelf. We have already begun to accomplish some of the key objectives set forth in this plan. We have completed a business plan for a county-wide fiber optics network for an amount equal to what we are paying collectively to lease internet and data service from Charter or AT&T, Henry County government, the 4 municipalities, Water and Sewer Authority, and Henry County schools will be able to achieve 20 times the current data capacity of our public schools, providing teachers and students the tools they need to enrich the education process through video collaboration with experts in the field, virtual simulations, and video streaming capabilities not possible today. Improved cost effectiveness, efficiency, reliability, and productivity of existing government operations. Where inspectors currently have to rely on radio signals or physically drive to a pump station to check on equipment, workers can now adjust valves and correct problems remotely, saving both time and money. And in the end, we'll own the network, again, for the same amount we're currently paying to lease service, keeping those dollars in our community and adding to that the possibility of allowing today's technology-intensive industries to tap into this fiber. This would help Henry County to begin to attract the kind of high-paying jobs that would bring economic vitality to our community and keep our workforce right here at home. But until we can get those jobs here, we have begun working with officials from Greta and GDOT to secure a location for an additional bus park and ride lot to make it easier for our citizens to commute to work. We have successfully lobbied for and received $475,000 for the building design for a new technical college funded via the 2009 Georgia General Assembly. And Henry County Schools opened the Academy of Advanced Studies in the fall of 2009, which enables high school students to take college courses for credit through dual enrollment. A symposium was conducted with local, state, and federal officials to discuss and solicit support for a new local interchange on I-75 that would help alleviate congestion at exit 216, an expanded soccer complex at North Mount Carmel Park, enhancing the soccer program for the 1,100-plus children who participate in the program while enabling the county to attract tournaments that bring tourism dollars into our community. But there is much still to do in order to make Henry County the community we all know it can be. We need to get Highway 20 extended to I-85. The development of this east-west connector between the two interstates south of Atlanta will further solidify Henry County's freight network and create diverse economic opportunities for the entire southern region. We must adopt a new economic incentives plan that will help us compete with other communities for those high-paying jobs, and we must do everything we can to cultivate an educated workforce, because that, perhaps more than anything else we do, will attract employers to locate here and invest in our community. So, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot look upon the coming year with great fear and trepidation, tying our shutters down to wait out the storm. We must look beyond the dark clouds above us and focus on the horizon. We have in place a leadership that is united in attracting higher-paying jobs. We have in place a leadership that is committed to improving the education of our workforce. We have in place, across all levels of government, a group of individuals who stand ready to do what it takes to achieve the vibrant, successful future that we all want. We've laid the groundwork. We have the blueprints. But it will take hard work, continued commitment, and perseverance. As someone once said, the road to success is dotted with many tempting parking places, but we cannot stop. So I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, as we venture down this road to recovery, to boldly envision the future we want for our community. Don your rain gear and trudge through the storm with us so that we will be ready when the sun comes out again. Henry County's brightest days are still to come.